I'm trying to paint! Today I'm painting orcs and I'm doing a Goff Boy. First off, I sprayed my Ork Boy with a Chaos Black spray. Then the paints I'm going to be using will be ABADDON Black, Evilson's Scarlet, Ironbreaker, Dorn Stone, White Scar, Ushabti Bone, Gnome Oil, Deathworld Forest. First up, I'm using my Deathworld Forest, and this is going to be for my main orc skin tone. I'm trying to get it in between all the muscles. Don't use too thick a layer and build up your layers and water it down. Don't clog up his eyes or anything with it. Then I move on to Dornstone. Now this I'm using for all the fabric parts such as his trousers and undershirt. I find it easier to just use a lighter color for this entire surface. Then I move on to Ushabti Bone for all the belt straps and for the teeth. Next I have my Ironbreaker, and this I'm using to apply a layer over the top of the helmet and the sword and the gun and all these sorts of areas which are clearly metal objects. And don't forget the steel toe caps on these boots. Then moving on to my ABADDON Black, I'm just touching up the armor areas which were previously sprayed, as well as like the wristbands and the boots and all these sorts of things that are black. Moving on to my Gnome Oil. I'm putting a fine layer of this over the surface of the sword and in the cracks and along like the belt buckles and the fingers, these sorts of areas. I don't want it on the main arms or between the muscles there, and I don't want it on the main Dornstone fabrics. Then with my Deathworld Forest here, I'm just touching up where I did get wash on the arms, as I want to keep a solid color there. And the same with my Dornstone, just touch up the gray. And then with my Ushabti Bone, I'm cleaning up the belt straps, make sure they're nice and clear, as well as the teeth. Then with my Deathworld Forest and my White Scar, I am doing a 50-50 mix. A little less white than green works best, and this is just to make a lighter green color for my orc skin. I'll be applying this to the raised areas of the muscle. Don't get it in the cracks. It looks super pale here, but that's just because I'm holding it too close to the lamp. As you can see, it does come out nicely and green. I will be using Ironbreaker next, and this is just to highlight our now washed metallic surface areas. Just a fine edge highlight, nice and neat. Then I'm using my White Scar, and this is to begin to build up the white checker pattern that is common on goth models. I'm using the bolts on the bottom of that armor there to be able to roughly divide the armor into thirds, so I can have my checkers in rows of 3. And then I just build up the square shapes, and just like that, and just do this over the whole model. I paint towards the edge of the armor because it's much easier to control the paint. Then I'm using my Dornstone to highlight all the black areas, including the little checkers that are on the edges of the areas, and things like the wristbands and the boots and all these areas. Anything that's black, basically. Then I'm using my Evilson's Scarlet, and this is just to dot the I's. And then we have our finished Ork Goff Boy. Remember to do your base however you do the rest of your army. You can click here for more videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe and check out my channel for other things that I've done. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.